Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome. It's Saturday. It's time for some Scream. I have a very different movie on my shirt, so I'm a little out of place, but welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. Thanks for talking Scream with us today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. It's the Saturday before Christmas, so is this going to be are we gonna have a lot of people in this stream? I don't know, but maybe it'll be a nice little intimate, Killjoy Jake stream. We'll see what happens, but I do appreciate you guys so much for stopping in. Hopefully you're having a happy holiday season and vibing out. But let's talk a little Scream. Let's vibe out. Let's see what's going on. I just got back from Avatar too, so I'm also down to talk a little bit about that. But there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about in the world of horror, ladies and gentlemen. We'll open up the conversation to just about anything. But I am excited for Scream 7. We're getting real close to it. We're getting real down to the wire. Nearly 2 months away. Damn, that's exciting. I mean, new Ghostface 2 months from now. Big event at the theater. And I think we're about to get into the big marketing campaign very soon, too. So, surprise stream. Let's go live. Let's talk some horror, baby. We have not Randy Meeks saying hello. Oh, did Randy survive, perhaps? Hello, not Randy Meeks. Definitely not anyone from the Meeks clan of the Randy variety. Randy's even throwing, I love this. Randy's throwing exactly $1.19 out there. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you, not Randy Meeks. Actually, is that euros or pounds or something? I don't know. I don't know symbols. I'm a dumb American. But I love that, and I appreciate it. So maybe Randy, jumped ship. He got out of America. He's hiding somewhere else in the world. I love that. Randy, thanks for the support, my friend. That's too funny. Austin Allman, 1994, thank you for being a channel member. I was getting worried that there was no stream tonight. I don't usually stream on the weekends, but I couldn't stream the last 2 days. I've just been busy with a ton of different holiday stuff. I'm sure you guys understand that. I'm sure you guys have been busy with holiday stuff as well. So I'm going to be kind of going nuts the next 2 days. So this whole weekend, we're vibing out, we're talking horror. I'll have a fun little video for you guys tomorrow. And then this upcoming week, we're gonna start to recap 2025 horror. Just going back, looking at the past with a little video series. It's gonna be a 3-part video coming out next week. And I'm really excited to do it. We're gonna talk about, it's gonna be 3 different lists. It's gonna be 10 movies that I felt were really underrated from this year, 10 movies that disappointed me. So not a worst of list, just 10 movies I was disappointed by, and then my 10 absolute favorites from 2025. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun little list. And I love how once I start streaming, I get hiccups. That's so much fun. Oh boy, but yeah, we're going live tonight. I might do a little live tomorrow. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. It's gonna be crazy the next couple of days. But we also have Gory Tiger keeping it gory out there in the chat, saying what's up, what's up, what's up, my friend? How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here with us. We got Samantha Robinson saying, hey, everyone. Hey, Samantha. Thanks for being a member. Austin saying hi. Love that, love that. Lisa's Complete Randomness is saying, hello, everyone. Happy holidays and happy Scream Day. It's a very screamy holiday, which we're loving around here. Lisa, thanks for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate you. Philoween Trends is saying, yay, I love Saturday Screams. Hell yeah. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being with us. It's a Saturday Scream, baby. Jordan Curley is saying, hey, Jake, I just saw the stream this second. How spooky was that? Very super duper spooky, and I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Wait, no fucking way did I just see that. Chase from Moser Movie Reviews is saying 69 days till 7. Man, I could not have picked a better day to go live. 69 days? That means on Monday it'll be 67 days. So all the young folk will be coming in making the jokes. I'll have to make that joke on Monday. That's too funny. But 69 days, baby. That's my funny number. I love it. 10 out of 10, baby. Let's go. Very good stuff. Are you singing in the rain with that shirt? That's really funny. I love that. This is my like my film snob shirt. It's extremely comfy though. This is one of my favorites. I don't know why. This is just it's a Clockwork Orange shirt. But it's extremely comfy. I love it. 10 out of 10 shirt. Paula Fitzhenry is saying, hi, sorry I am late. It's all good. We're just glad you're here. Paula, thanks for being a member. Thanks for hanging out with us. Destiny McLean is saying, yay, Killjoy Jake. That is I, Destiny. It is very nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you. Oh, not Randy Meeks is saying Euros. I'm from Ireland. Hell yeah, dog. Welcome in. Well, thank you for being here. Randy, I hope you're hiding out in Ireland safely, away from Ghostface, considering that you allegedly survived Scream 2. So, oh, sorry, not Randy Meeks. Apologies there. Your secret is safe with me, my friend. Thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Tori Mayers is saying, hola muchachos. What is up, Tori? How we doing? Welcome in. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for talking a little Scream. Kelly Stroh-Snyder, thank you so much for being a channel member. Saying evening, Jake in chat. That is I. Hello, evening. Very, very proper of you, Kelly. I love that. What else is going on here? Destiny saying, can't believe we're so close to Scream 7. We're inching towards it. I'm so excited. I can't wait for just another Ghostface outing. I hope it's a good one. I hope it bangs. Yo, Jake, go into a buddies later. Throw us a recommendation after we smoke up. A little bit of schmonking. What's a good movie to schmonk to? Dude, can I be so real with you? Whenever, I'm a little schmonked, I just think the VHS movies are like my absolute favorite. Just anything that's kind of like trippy or weird, like that's always the vibe, I love putting on any of the VHS movies, like just a little, little out there. If you want to like, if you're feeling extreme though, if you're feeling like you want to watch something really bizarre, I recommend Mandy. Mandy would be a good one to, have a little schmonkin too. So that's what I recommend. Mandy is a crazy one because it's intense, it's trippy, it's you got some like Hellraiser inspired motorcycle riders. I mean, it's great. It fulfills all the needs. There you go. So Mandy would be my recommendation. Unpaid Film Critic is saying 69 days and counting until Scream 7 releases, and I am so excited. Tomorrow, I am planning on seeing Avatar: Fire and Ash. I just got out of the theater for that one, Unpaid Film Critic, and I'm I'm so on the fence. Here's what I'm going to say about it without spoiling it. It has, and I'm not even kidding, some of the best moments of those three movies. Like genuinely some of the very best moments of all three of those films where I was just like, wow, that really worked. Like that was a surprisingly great moment that I did not think would work for me. But then it also has like just some, I'm scratching my head. Like it's the two extremes, some great stuff and some like almost awful stuff. But the one thing that is consistent throughout the entire film is the visuals. It is a gorgeous movie. Maybe that's the one thing that I will say I think gets better across all three films, is I think the visual style gets even better as we go along. But there's just like some weird, like I hate to even say that it's this bad, but it's like cringe dialogue. Like we have like these aliens saying, bro, don't do that, bro. Come on, bro. If I heard one of them say bro one more time, I'm like, bro. It was very like, ugh. There was some weird dialogue choices and some weird performances. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know, maybe I haven't seen 1 and 2 and maybe there is some of that in there, but like just, that was a big thing that kind of stuck out to me about this one. I was just like, why are some of the performances so stilted here? It's just kind of weird. So lots of great stuff here, however, and I won't spoil that. There's a lot of really emotional stuff about the new Avatar that I thought like absolutely worked, and I was kind of shocked. I have not really been super invested in this franchise. I enjoy seeing them, especially because of Weta, who works on these films and makes them look so beautiful. I mean, come on now. That as a filmmaker, I'm like, I kind of gotta see the Avatar movies. But there's a lot that works about this one. There's a lot of repetition from the previous two films, though. You might be disappointed in terms of story, is what I'll say. But if you're just there for the style, the visuals, you will love this one. Samantha is saying, good day today. Got a new episode of the Dark Side of Hey Arnold and a stream from Jake. What the episode of Dark Side of, is that like Pink Floyd and Hey Arnold coming together? Like if you watch Hey Arnold at the same time as watching, like it's listening to Dark Side of the Moon, it lines up or some crazy shit. I don't know, but I love that. Dark Side of Hey Arnold. Interesting. What else is going on? We got Richard J. Skarenki. I just scrolled too fast past it. I'm so sorry. He's saying, what happened to last night's Scream stream? I could not go live last night. I've been working on holiday stuff with the fam, just getting everything ready, getting Christmas presents for folks. We have some, I don't have kids, but we have friends and family members who have kids and we want to get them presents kind of thing. So we've been present shopping, making things happen. So just kind of figuring all that fun stuff out, essentially. So sorry I couldn't go live last night. I'm going to make up for it this weekend. We got Jason Carpenter. Thank you for being a channel member. Just made it in, Jake. Jason, I saw your text as I was leaving the theater just now. Jason just got out of The Housemaid, if I'm not mistaken. I still have not seen that one. No spoilers, but let us know in the chat what you thought about it. I'm quite curious. I'm quite curious your thoughts, my friend. Austin Allman is saying thoughts on American Mary. I have not seen American Mary. Is that kind of like a Bloody Mary, American Psycho thing? American Mary. No, I don't know about that one. I'm so sorry. Overworked Human is saying the Leprechaun would probably be good for a Devil's Lettuce night. Yeah, I agree. That's also a very good suggestion for that. 100%. Davey Deathray is also with us. What's up, Davey? How we doing? Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope all are having a great week. Is Scream 7 here yet? I'm ready to shift focus to Evil Dead Burn. That's too funny. I'm very excited for you. I think Evil Dead Burn is going to be a banger, dude. I think listen, I'm excited for Scream 7, but I think the movie, the franchise continuation, I might be the most excited for next year is Evil Dead. Evil Dead trumps everything for me. Like, can I just be so real with you guys? A new Evil Dead's coming out. Okay, that's always going to be number one. I'm even excited for 28 years later, The Bone Temple. And I gotta be honest, I think Evil Dead's still above that. Like, I'm crazy excited for 28 years later. I loved that first one, maybe more than I should have. And even then, Evil Dead is above all. I love that franchise. It does it for it. Like I've yet to be disappointed by anything Evil Dead. Man, cannot wait for this one. So Davey, I hate to agree with you, man. On a Scream stream, right? It feels a sacrilege, but man, oh baby. Bring it on. Jason Carpenter is saying Silent Night, Deadly Night 2025 box office numbers are in the shitter. I mean, you know, that's kind of the problem with a franchise like this. It's just, doesn't have as big of a pull. There's how many Silent Night, Deadly Night like hardcore fans are there? You know what I mean? That's just the problem with it. I thought it was great though. I really loved this one. I don't think it really lends itself to, you know, like I think why Scream has such fans, you know, in comparison is the fact that like these movies are very consequential. I'm always very critical of that because I feel like you could do better murder mysteries if it wasn't. But I think the reason why Scream has snowballed into this franchise that so many people are just love across, you know, the entire world essentially is because we've had characters to latch onto since the very beginning. Or just something to latch onto, right? Because like there's a different killer every single movie, so that's not really, you know what I mean? Like people are showing up for Halloween for Michael Myers at the end of the day over like Laurie Strode, over Allison or something like that. But we almost always have some sort of version of Michael Myers, except in that one movie. So that's kind of our thing we're latching onto there. With Scream, it's actual physical characters, right? That come back for almost every movie as well. But yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's just, this is a reimagining of a very slightly obscure 80s slasher film. So I understand why maybe maybe it didn't have the greatest turnout, but I'm still really glad that it exists. I think it's a killer movie. You're also saying that this movie will slay when it comes to streaming. Yeah, 100%. If people don't see it now, they will see it later on for sure. So I'm definitely really excited to see see if we're still talking about this 1 years later. You know, the Wrong Turn remake is a movie that I bring up quite a bit, also from the same director. And I didn't, like, when I saw it, I knew I loved it, but I didn't know if I'd still be talking about it years later. And here I am. I still love that movie. I still highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And it also flew under the radar, did not do numbers at the box office, sadly, but fuck, did I love it. I mean, I really thought it was a killer flick. And it's like in both cases too, I feel like Mike Nelson made the very best version, the very best film in both of those franchises, in my humble opinion. Like, that's my favorite Wrong Turn. This is my favorite Silent Night, Deadly Night. So the fact that he's done that with two franchises now, that's pretty impressive. I can't wait to see what he does next. Philoween Trends is saying, I'm seeing the Smile prequel teased. Sounds interesting. I heard something about that. There was something about Smile. They're teasing some new thing. I'm gonna have to do a video on that soon. Loved both the Smile movies too. I'm really excited to see what else comes from that. That's gonna be fun. Jason is saying, I'm drinking a ton of booze on this Saturday night. Just got out of The Housemaid earlier. It's a 10 out of 10, something that shouldn't work for me, but it's phenomenal. That's really cool that you liked it that much. Like it's a perfect movie in your opinion. I don't have any high hopes for it at all. I'm going into it with very middling expectations, but I am going to check it out. And I'll try to do some sort of review on it as soon as I possibly can. I still have not, I really want to put out a full review of the Creep Tapes season 2. I have so much to say about, especially about that last episode. Wow. It's so like, I don't know how they're able to do this with each season, but season 2 really topped what came before. And then I also feel like they've just established like a whole new thing when it comes to that last episode. They've established a whole new idea with our creep that I do really like, but it does raise a lot of questions, is what I'll say. So I'm excited to a lot of reviews, I guess, coming. Lots of reviews, lots of videos talking about a bunch of movies from this year. I'm excited to get into it. The Horror Den is saying, I've got a crazy theory. I think Anna Camp is the killer with her son, and she is Stu's sister, Leslie. I think that is absolutely going to be the case. I'm with you almost 100% there. I think Stu introduced her to Roman, and he is her son's Roman's the dad. That's kind of crazy. I think they'll have his voice changer, too. You know, that would make sense as to why Scott Foley would be involved. You know, I think with... It's weird that Billy's not involved, right? Skeet is telling us he's not involved. And if he was, why wouldn't... Here's the thing, right? We know that Matthew's involved. We know that... Skeet... Sorry, not Skeet. We know that Scott Foley's involved. We know that David Arquette is involved. See, if we already know that, why would Skeet lie about being involved? That doesn't make any sense to me. I genuinely do not think Skeet Ulrich is in this film, as he's told us. I actually believe him, where, you know, many times in the past, I'd probably say the opposite, but I believe him. So there's got to be a connection to not only Stu, but also Roman with this. You might be entirely right here. It might be like Roman is the father kind of thing of this son, and that could kind of be like what it is. You know, again, I think some people might hear that and say it's, wow, we're doing the family stuff. We're just doing up the family stuff, right? Man, that's crazy. But I could kind of see it. I could kind of just see it just based on what we know about the upcoming film, right? It has to do with Roman and Stu somehow. Are they just emulating these two killers' voices? Is that it? Or does it actually have something to do with these killers in general? Is there a reason why it's these two specific people? So it's a good question. It's a good question. It raises a lot of questions about what the hell is going on with whoever is our killer in the flick. So I'm very much so with you. I think Anna Camp, maybe her son, maybe her daughter, running around killing people in this one. That is 100% my guess. Erica Stabs for Likes is saying, hey, what's up, Erica? How we doing? Welcome in. Thanks for being with us tonight. We have official Mig on Tiv saying, hey, what's up, people? What's up, Mig? How we doing? Welcome in. Jordan Curley's also with us saying, confused. What does that mean? I don't know. What's up, though? Welcome in. A lot of things have been said, so I'm just not sure. Jack Me Off is saying, just watched the Peter Pan horror movie and it impressed me with the production. It was a theater quality film. I totally agree. That was a movie that I loved from earlier this year. I was really surprised by it. I did not think I would like it as much as I did, but it banged. It really banged. I think it might be my favorite from the entire catalog of the Jagged Edge production team. So it's probably my favorite from them so far. Can't wait to see whatever comes next. A lot of exciting stuff. I want to see Pinocchio already from them, man. I'm dying for some Pinocchio. Really need that in my life. Not Randy Meeks is throwing another €1.19. Is it cents in euros? I don't fucking know. 1.19 euros. I appreciate it. Thank you, Not Randy Meeks. You're too kind. You're throwing out a little smiley face sticker too. I love that little smiley face with the sunglasses. Very much so. Dig it. Very nice. Magnificent Logo is saying, sup, Jake? Do you think Hokum will be good? Yes, I have a lot of faith in Hokum. It comes from a great writer-director, Damian McCarthy, who has not failed to scare me in his first 2 features, and this should probably be the best. I really think that between, what was the name of the first one? Caveat. Then he did, I can't remember the last one that he did. Oh, man. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Well, whatever his second feature was came out last year and it was really good. Wow, maybe it wasn't because I can't remember the fucking name of it, but it was fantastic. Whatever that second one was, I think it was a slightly better script with an even scarier, crazy shit going on. There's a scene in a tent that is so simple. Like, I mean, it's such a simple setup, but because of the way it's filmed, it is terrifying. So Damian McCarthy never fails at scaring me. And even, I mean, just the trailer for Hokum. Guys, if you're a Patreon supporter, I did a trailer reaction to this one. My God, I mean, even the trailer scared the shit out of me. So I don't know. I'm so ready for Hokum. I want it to ruin me. It stars Adam Scott too, and I've been watching so much fucking Severance. I just finished Severance, guys. That's one of the best shows I've ever seen. One of my all-time favorite shows. I can't wait to see where it goes. But I'm here for more Adam Scott doing weird little horror projects, man. Let's rock and roll with all of that. So Hokum is absolutely on my radar. Cannot wait to see more movies from Damian McCarthy. Davey Deathray is saying, this is why I love Jake. He and I are brothers in Evil Dead. 100%, Davey. I want all the Evil Dead. Bring it on. We have, this is Evil Dead 6, and we have Evil Dead 7 on the way after that, baby. I'll eat it all up. Yum, yum, yum. Sam Raimi, give me more. Give me 100 more Evil Dead movies, and then maybe I'll be satiated. Blake 9455 is saying, Scream turned 29 today. You're right. Yeah, Scream came out 29 years ago today. Blake, I almost forgot. I was going to bring that up. Thank you for reminding me. I'm surprised we didn't get new content for Scream 7 and no one else has mentioned it. Not even Kevin said anything, and he did about Scream 2 last week. Well, there's still time. There's still time, Blake. But I guess, yeah, it is probably kind of late now, right? Crazy to think about, though. I know a lot of people were speculating today we'd get a trailer or a teaser or something for Scream 7 because it's the anniversary. But yeah, nothing, which is kind of nuts. I really do believe, Blake, that they're waiting until next year. I follow the rumor mill pretty closely. You know, I follow what everyone's saying, what everyone's kind of talking about, and there's just no rumblings of any sort of marketing on the way right now. So I really think that we're not going to see anything until January, but this might be a good thing. You know, I know we all want to see stuff right now, but this might maybe be a good thing if they do it the right way. If they just go absolutely hard and crazy in January and February promoting the movie, getting butts in seats, that could work. That could do it, man. And I that's my guess as to what they're doing. I mean, they're teasing this big collaboration with Ice Nine Kills. They're just teasing us right now. They're not giving anything out yet. So we're gonna be patient for this month. But I think as we get into January, that's when things are gonna start really dropping. That's my guess. Erica Stabs for Likes is saying, a mean chair fell on it at work and cracked my toe nail in half. Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm okay though. Thank you for your prayers, Davey. You'll be in my prayers to the horror gods as well, Erica. I'm terribly sorry about that. That's awful. I'm so sorry. Chillin' Killin' Dylan is saying, I bet the killers weren't shown in the trailer. I mostly agree, although McKenna Grace is kind of suspicious. What's up with that skirt, you know? But I could get behind that, Dylan. I could get behind the idea that Anna Camp is our killer and she's nowhere to be seen. So what's up with that, right? What's up with that? It's weird. It's weird that she's not in the trailer. What are they trying to hide from us, you know? Erica, even after getting a chair dropped on her today, throwing out a super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my friend. 49 viewers and 22 likes. Go hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. You will get your finger bitten off if you don't, guys. So make sure to just do it. You know, don't get your finger bitten off by Erica. She will do that, though. So just be careful, guys. Erica, thank you so much for the 2. I hope you don't enjoy any fingers tonight, even though I hope you are also satiated. We're getting into some weird conversations tonight, guys. I love it. I love it a lot. Eric is also reminding everybody to subscribe to the gaming channel GullGotha. I would greatly appreciate if you guys did that. We're nearly at 1,200 subscribers, so check it out. Give it a little, press a little few buttons, and that could be pretty damn cool. So appreciate that a ton. Thank you, Erica, for sharing that out. We also have Critical Overlord saying, Jake, I dare you to watch I See You. What is I See You? I feel like I've heard of that before. Hang on. I See You. It just kind of sounds like that to me, you know? Kind of like a goofy thing. Oh, this is that movie. Wait, I've heard, someone recommended this to me. one of my friends who really likes thrillers recommended this to me. They're like, dude, you want a really good thriller? Watch I See You. And I totally missed this when it came out. I'm gonna have to check this out, man. I totally missed this one. I only, the only reason I recognize it is because of that mask, with the crazy eyes or whatever. Like that's the one thing I remember about this. So I'm gonna have to see that one, Critical Overlord. I have not seen that. Critical Overlord comes into the chat all the time, and dude, I don't even think I've ever asked you this. What's your favorite horror movie? Almost all the different different content creators that I talk to, I pretty much know what their favorite horror movie is. But like, everyone's got like, don't just say Scream because everyone loves Scream. What's your favorite horror movie? Genuinely, what's the number one? The weird movie that like you still have a DVD of since you were a kid, like that movie. I want to know what that movie is for you. Let me know. Chillin' Killin' Dylan is saying watching Ice Spiders right now, pretty solid. I love that. Ice Spiders. I need to see this movie yesterday. That's crazy, dude. Austin Allman is saying, are you excited for the new Sam Raimi flick with Rachel McAdams? Yeah, isn't it like the ladies trapped on an island or something? Yeah, I'm totally gonna see that, 100%. Anything, if Sam Raimi's got his name on it, I will check it out. He's a good producer too, man. You can't say that about a lot of the masters of horror. Believe it or not, there's a lot of guys who have swapped to producer roles where like they're kind of like, I love James Wan, man. I love a lot of the movies he's directed, but he's hit or miss with the movies he's produced. So I'm actually kind of excited to see anything that Sam Raimi produces is usually good, and then also like this, he's directing this one. So I mean, that's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. Seems like a really unique idea. I'm here for it. Jake, an Evil Dead movie where spiders are possessed. Thoughts? What's funny about that, Samantha, is the director of this upcoming Evil Dead movie is actually a guy who made an evil spider movie, and that's why he got the job. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that the idea that animals could get possessed by, the Necronomicon in this next thing. Has that ever happened before? Like outside of like, like the deer, right? The deer head on the wall kind of freaking out and going crazy. But I mean, like, have we ever just been walking through the woods and like, a deadite bit into a squirrel or something? That I don't think anything like that has happened. I'm even trying to remember the TV. I feel like maybe there was something in the TV show, but I'm just totally failing to remember. I'd kind of love to see like an animal, like get possessed. That's interesting. That's really interesting, Samantha. That could be like, makes for a really unique scene, I feel, in a movie. Overworked Human is saying, with how many times Sydney has been in a serial killer scenario, I'm surprised she didn't go into witness protection. I know, Overworked Human. It is getting a little ridiculous, right? I love Sydney Prescott though, man. I hate complaining about her because I am really excited to see like what the next chapter in her life is going to be. I think this is going to be a very familiar feeling Scream, and I think that's going to be one of the big things that reels us in initially. I hope they're able to find something new with it and fresh. I feel like when you keep coming back to that, to a certain well over and over again too many times, it's not always going to deliver. So I just really hope this one does. I really, really, really do. Rob Ellis is asking a good question. Has Scream 7, the runtime, been released yet? No, I don't believe it has. We do know that the last one was over 2 hours long, and I'm wondering if this one is also going to be there. Critical Overlord saying it 114 minutes, so that's just a little under 2 hours. So that would be shorter than Scream 6. But I'm here for that. I mean, I don't think it needs to be exactly 2 hours. I'm cool with that. Rocking and rolling with that. Kevo is saying, maybe I missed in a past video or stream, but since they announced the new Saw will be a full reboot, what are your thoughts, predictions on what we can expect? I've done a few videos on this. I'm definitely wary about it for sure, because it is going to Blumhouse and they haven't handled all their reboots, perfectly to a T. So I understand the concern there, but it is in the hands of Mr. James Wan, who created the series back in the early 2000s. So because it's him, I kind of have total faith in it. I have whatever James Wan is going to do with it. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to deliver. I think James understands that, fans of Saw like the entire franchise and not just the first movie. So there's certain things you have to deliver on. You can't just make a movie like the original Saw again, where it's not really focused on the traps. You know what I mean? It's more about who is the killer. It's more of like this slow burn kind of thriller with like a little bit of body horror and and gore and stuff. So I think he understands that, you know, franchise fans want Saw, like what Saw has become, right? It's kind of about the traps. It's kind of about Tobin Bell as Jigsaw. So I really think he's going to deliver on that. I think he understands what fans of this franchise want. Even though, you know, Kevo, more than anything, I want a Saw X sequel. I want that more than a reboot for sure. But if we can't get that, I'll take whatever James Wan wants to cook up. Want to catch up here because I'm just missing shit because I'm really behind. Did Critical Overlord saying Scream? That's the cop-out answer, bro. Like, yeah, okay. that's a cop-out. You're saying, but The Shining is a close second. I have my Scream VHS locked away with Scream 2. Well, that is very cool. The Shining's a great answer, though. I think The Shining it's an excellent film. Maybe one of the best psychological horror films of all time, for sure. Very good answer. What else do we got going on here? We have Jason saying, I agree, man. I walked into Housemaid with lukewarm expectations at best, and it caps off 2025 in a great way. It's more tailored for chicks, though. That's funny. I'm still going to see it. I'm definitely going to give it a watch, see what it's all about. I'm a fan of at least one of those actresses. That's what I'll say. Nightmare Files is saying, hey, yo, what's up, Nightmare Files? How we doing? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you a ton. King Matthew III, also what's up? Welcome in. Originally, you predicted that Gale would die in 7, but now I kind of think she's going to be saved to be the opening kill of 8, because we've never had an actual legacy character like get killed in the opening. Whew. Be brutal. It'd be like Loki in Infinity War all over again, right? Kind of reminded me of that sort of energy. I could see that. I could see that being the case. Man, I think what's tough about making a beloved character your opening kill, though, is that like you could run the risk of just turning your audience away almost immediately. I know Terminator Dark Fate is one of those movies where I went into that movie with high expectations. It was the director of Deadpool doing Terminator. I'm like, man, I think they're finally gonna, turn the franchise around. Like Terminator was on a rough streak there, hadn't had a whole lot of good movies, but this is gonna be it. And then in the opening scene to a film that is supposed to be a direct sequel to Terminator 2, they kill little boy John Connor, and it's just like, okay, fuck this movie, dude. No matter what they did next, I was not on board. It was a movie that completely turned me off from the opening scene onward, and even though there might be some cool stuff in there, you know, moving onward, it turned me off immediately. So I think it's really tough to have a legacy character get killed in the opening. It might just set a certain tone that, you know, especially Scream fans might really be turned off to. I think, see, as someone who just wants to see the macabre and someone who wants to, I'm here for the horror, baby. I would be all about that, but I just don't know if the majority of Scream fans would would vibe with that. I think people feel like they would want some sort of build up, right, to a good legacy character death that's going to be emotional, that's gonna hurt. But me personally, I could get into something like that. Unpaid Film Critic is saying, I was not much of a fan of the film The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. I thought the book was way better. Well, you know, Mr. King would agree with you, and that's why he made the miniseries. What do you think about the miniseries? I'm curious. Because I know it's a hot take, but I know some people really do like the miniseries or just the original story better than the Stanley Kubrick movie. So I'm curious. I'm curious your thoughts. Jason Carpenter is saying, if I was Michael Myers, I would zero in on Ruby Modine. Oh my God. Hope she is in Scream 8 or the new Halloween movies in 2028. You think we're getting in 2028 new Halloween movies? That would be awesome. That would be wonderful if that was the case. Nothing would make me happier. I already miss Halloween, man. I already miss it. It's been 2 years and I'm just like, be nice to have one of these at the end of the year, you know? Corey Burrier is saying, holy crap, it's Jake. Hope you're kicking some ass, buddy. Thank you so much. Sending the good vibes from that place. It's Winnipeg, baby, and we need those good vibes. So I appreciate you sending them out, Corey. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for talking a little horror, man. Thanks for being here. What's up? What else is going on? We have Jordan saying House of Wax still gets overlooked. House of Wax is very good. I think it's a little too long, you know, that 2005 movie, but it's fantastic. I think it's very much so worth a watch. It has some really, it's one of those movies that I feel like is so Scream inspired that came out just a little too late. Like, had it come out 3-4 years earlier, it might have still gotten a little bit of attention. But it's interesting because I think it kind of, just like Final Destination, I feel like it kind of crosses the wires of having that Scream style to it with its characters, but having like a lot of the gore and body horror of something like Saw, which was becoming more popular at the time. So that's kind of, for me, that's why House of Wax really works, is because you have like the Scream inspired like storytelling mixed with like the body horror and terror of something like Saw or like Cabin Fever, for instance, or Hostel's the other one I was trying to think of. So I love House of Wax. I think it's a movie that I totally agree gets totally overlooked. That one deserves a little more love, in my opinion. Blake is saying, I know I'm going to eat that movie up no matter what. The last couple I watched 3 times in theaters with different friends. I want 7 to be one where I feel like that's needed execution warranting. Yeah, I agree. I think even if Scream 7 isn't the best Scream sequel, I think I'm still going to just vibe with it. I love seeing Ghostface run around and do his thing. I totally agree. I'm not going to hate this movie. I think even if it's not great, I'm still going to probably vibe with it, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'm biased. Call me biased. I don't care. I love Ghostface. Dude, watching that trailer, man, I was so excited. And I've seen it a few more times now, and I'm noticing some things that are a little more like, whatever. But I know walking out of that theater, I'm going to be like, that was fucking cool. Ghostface is running around stabbing people again. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it, baby. So I do vibe with that quite a bit. Rob Ellis is saying one of the best retro horror films would have to be The Lost Boys. Oh, great choice. Love The Lost Boys. That's one of my fiance's favorites. She absolutely loves The Lost Boys. That's one of my, I think it's one of the better like just 80s comfort films. I feel like it's so much fun. It's got some great music, some great performances. A lot of love with that one for sure. You don't got to watch the sequels though. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about those. Critical Overlord saying The Blob from 1988 remains a childhood favorite. I just got the steelbook of that one last year, my friend, and I love that one. Love the Blob. That's a banger. Hoping this new one is a sequel. Yeah, what's going on with this, Critical Overlord? Because we know that David Bruckner was working on it for a little while, and I feel like we got that announcement and just no other announcements came from that. I feel like we got this big like, oh my god, they're doing The Blob again and David Bruckner's doing it. That's like match made in heaven, in my opinion. Great director to apply to that project, and nothing else from him. I don't know. I want an update. I want something. I want to know what's going on with that. Legion the World Killer. Wow, what a title. Saying, I bought a handheld PSP from my childhood and it's the better version. Man, that's funny. I had one of those as a kid too. I played the fuck out of the God of War game on the PSP. That was like one of my favorites. Wow, that was so much fun. The Blob Takes Manhattan is too funny. I love that. The Blob Takes Manhattan. Richard J. Skarenki is saying, yeah, Jake, the opening of Terminator Dark Fate ruined everything for the fate of that universe and John Connor, everything that he stood for. Man, yeah, I was just like, you can't kill John Connor. Fuck that. Maybe you could kill him at the end, but not at the opening. Come on now. Crazy. Lindsay Kamar, who's a channel member. Hello. What's up? Thanks for being with us tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the page. We also have Critical Overlord saying, let's discuss how awful Jason Takes Manhattan is. He took Manhattan eventually. He had to take the boat to get there, though. He had to sit through all that, and then finally he took Manhattan, all right. Not really, honestly. He just kind of like just dies in the sewers. He has that one little moment in Times Square, but that's about it. It's kind of a boring movie, I gotta be honest. Would have been way better if it was on a boat most of the time. I also think like a lot of the Manhattan stuff is kind of just boring. Like, we have a little chase scene on a subway. I think he like goes into a pizza parlor at one point. It's very not memorable. The only like big super memorable scene from that whole movie, I just feel like, is when he kicks the boombox. Like, oh wait, hang on, I'm sorry. When he punches the dude's head off, I almost forgot. Excuse me for that flub. Wow, that's pretty fucking awesome, actually. Punching the head off, 10 out of 10. That's maybe one of my favorite Jason scenes ever. Yeah. okay, the third act of that movie is pretty cool, but the sewers filling up with toxic goo every night, does that still happen in New York, huh? They're still just allowing that to happen? That's crazy. We're gonna cut ahead because I'm so behind, man. Leprechaun Back to the Hood is cherished garbage, dude. The double feature of Leprechaun in the Hood and Back to the Hood. Oh man, that's something else. That's something. Those movies are pretty bad, but those are just too funny. You have too much fun laughing at those. Jason just rented The Running Man on streaming. Speaking of legend Stephen King, he loves this new adaptation. I think it's a really good adaptation. It's a lot of fun. It's a little more faithful to the novel, but I don't know if you saw my review for Patreon and channel members, Jason, but that ending, I was like, oh, we were so close to getting an adaptation of this that was close enough to what is so great about the book, and then we didn't do it. And I'm just like, I was so mad. I was like, this was so good. You had it, and then I don't know why they deviated. That's American cinema for you, though, man. We got to have a happy ending, and it's just like, oh, it irks me. But I do love most of that movie, Jason, I will say. But that really was a thorn right up my asshole. Corey is saying, pretty exciting. Winnipeg had The Long Walk, Violent Night 2, Clown in a Cornfield, and Silent Night, Deadly Night, all filmed here. Wow, shit. You're like a Winnipeg expert, huh, Corey? That's awesome. That's really exciting stuff. Have you ever played Manhunt on PS2? Dude, that must have been one of the only PS2 games I didn't have. I grew up with a PlayStation 2. Like, that was my console. Never played Manhunt, though. Damn. I must have missed out. Corey's also talking about Orphans. Dude, I'm so excited for Orphans. First Kill was so much fun. I did not expect myself to like it as much as I did. I had a great time with it, and I'm just loving what we're hearing about Orphans so far. It's so cheesy and dumb, but I'm here for it, man. I'm very excited for it. Metal Vam DQ is saying, a question you may not want to answer explicitly. Any opinions on the leaked motives? I've read at least 2. I'm hearing from other people they're not true. That again, I don't know, maybe that's a bunch of bullshit. But what I will say about one of the leaked motives is it's a motive that we've been talking about on this page for months and months and months, maybe years. I think actually if Critical Overlord is still here, it's a motive that he's talked about quite a bit too. So for me, I really feel like it's someone just saying shit, you know? I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of horror content creators have kind of talked about this at one point. The idea that Ghostface is targeting Sydney specifically to, you know, reinvigorate the stab movies or whatever. I kind of broke it down in whatever my most recent Scream video was. I brought it up because it's kind of been going around. That was like one of them. There's another leaked motive. I don't know, dude. The other one was kind of like whatever, but whatever this one was, it's interesting to me. And honestly, if it is the motive, I'm down for it. Like I think that's a cool motive that has me excited. It's the idea that, like, yeah, Ghostface is going after Sydney to bring her out of hiding and make the stab movies about Sydney again. And it's kind of like this reflection of Scream 5, but I love it. Like, I think in and of itself, it is meta commentary, right? Because people were probably watching Scream 5 and saying, why aren't these killers going after Sydney? And Scream 7 is going to answer that, you know, with a different kind of killer. And I almost feel like Scream 5 represents like one side of the fan base, where like Scream 7 will represent the other. And I kind of think that's cool in a way. You know, I kind of feel like we're getting into the heads of all the different fans now with just pick your movie, essentially. So if that's the motive, I'm down for it personally. I think that's really fun. And maybe it might get some criticism to say, well, that's too similar to 5. But is it though? Or, is that on purpose? I feel like they could do it in a way where it's like, no, we know what we're doing. That's why we're doing it this way. But I'm not explaining that very well. I feel like there's a way that they could do it where, yeah, it's purposefully paralleling 5, and that's the point. You know what I mean? To kind of represent what the fans are saying about the movies, which I think could be fun. I think actually could be fun and interesting, lend itself to a bigger conversation that builds upon 5 opposed to just steals, right? There's a way that you can approach that would be really interesting, and I'm excited to see if it is actually the motive, because those are the best motives, in my opinion, the ones that keep me thinking when I'm even leaving the theater. Scuttler John, what's up, Scuttler? How we doing? I would love Stu to become the hero and have a change of heart if he is in the 7th film by saving Sid, and as he's dying, he looks into her eyes and says, "I always had a thing for you, Sid." You know, I can't deny I would kind of love that. I always, listen, I know I sit up here and I just shit on the whole Stu thing, and I'm just like, I just don't think it would make sense. I don't think it would be, you know, a good reveal. But if he decided like if he's in prison or something and he's the good guy and he's helping us out, that's a really interesting angle. I cannot deny that I would kind of want to see that, because that's a cool reinvention of the character. It doesn't feel obvious. Because again, I feel like just him coming back as the killer, it's obvious. It's exactly what I would expect. But the idea of him having a change of heart and wanting to help out Sydney, you know, maybe doing a Hannibal Lecter thing, but he doesn't escape or whatever. I don't know. That's interesting to me. That's interesting enough to be like, okay, I can look past the whole idea that he should probably be dead. But I can vibe with that. If you bring him back and do something interesting that doesn't fuck up what I love so much about Scream, sure. Cool. That's why I don't care about Kirby. Can I be so real? Like, Kirby probably should have been dead, whatever, but like, it was cool to see her back. It didn't fuck up the movie, in my opinion. So I'll take it. Let's rock and roll with that. One of those sensational reports that went AWOL afterwards is saying Critical Overlord. Yeah, I didn't even talk about it, bro. I was just like, I don't know. People are going to say shit leaked all the time. And it's something I've talked about on the page like a million times. Like I'm not making another video about this, man. I don't know. Critical is also saying, my thing is all of this kind of reinforces Sydney was at her best during 1 through 3. I think I agree. I feel like that's what was keeping me interested through those 3 movies. And then beyond that, I feel like Scream turned into something else. And that's okay. You know, franchises have to evolve if they're going to keep going on. That's the only way I think they can continue onward. Because if you're just going to keep repeating the same stuff over and over again, people are going to get uninterested. It's my biggest criticism about this new Avatar. Like, they just keep ending these movies they keep doing the same thing in these movies plot wise. And I'm just like, oh man, do something else. But I do agree. I think Sydney's trilogy is awesome. I loved her story from 1 to 3. And then beyond that, I don't really need anything else with the character. I'm kind of like, I'm good, I guess, is my point. I think that arc rocks, and then I'm done. Like, I think we're done with Sydney at this point. Child's Play fan is saying, besides Randy, is there one character in Scream that you regret seeing killed? I mean, honestly, as much as I love Dewey's death, it's the thing that pulled me into Scream 5. I was really just like whatever about it until then. I think that David Arquette really would have done 100 Scream movies before he decided to peace out. Like, he would have done all these. There's actually a world, and this is probably insane for me to say, I would almost rather just see like Gale and Dewey come back every movie opposed to Sydney, just because I feel like there's a lot you could do with that relationship, maybe even more so than like Sydney Prescott's story. Like, I really feel like, again, I don't want to shit on Sydney because she's the best final girl of all time. Hill I'll die on. That might change this February, but for right now, best final girl of all time. My problem with bringing back Sydney is that we're gonna get to a point where there's just no more new chapters in her life. Like, this is it. And I feel like this should be it. If we do like maybe a little 2-parter kind of thing where it's just like, okay, we're closing out the Sydney story. She has her happy ending. Now we can move on. I could vibe with that. But like Gale and Dewey though, I feel like we could have done something with that forever. And now the problem I feel with Dewey dying is like Gale has nothing to do now. Like, Gale had nothing to do in Scream 6, and I hope they find something for her to do in this next one. So I almost feel like Gale should either die or maybe they have a third option that I don't know about. Maybe there's another thing that we can do with this character. But without Dewey, I don't know. I feel like, and if it was the opposite, it would be the same thing. If, Gale had died and Dewey was just coming back, I think I'd still kind of just be like, there's no sexual tension between him and who? Nobody. That's part of this. That's part of the fun of this. That's our that's our couple that we want them to work so badly. But of course they don't. It's ups and downs with those two. So I guess that's my big thing. But it's a great question, though. A lot of great characters, I feel like, in this franchise that had potential that might have died too soon, Jason Carpenter is saying, dude, I'm taking some vacation days ending of February. Scream 7 and Resident Evil 9 with Leon drop. Hope it snows in Texas that week. I am very excited. That weekend is going to be busy, baby. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 all night throughout the whole weekend, and we're going to be playing Resident Evil 9 all day long. So I am going to try to go through that all day over on the gaming channel. So stop on over there for some more updates on video games. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for more videos talking about that game. I'm really excited for it. It looks like a bit of a throwback to like Resident Evil 4, especially with Leon being one of the characters you play as. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Blake is saying the next Scream has to take place in the snow. If they do film 8 early next year, it would be pretty cool if it came out December 20th of 2026. 2 movies in 10 months would make me happy, but it's unlikely. Yeah, I don't know if they could turn it around that fast. You know, there's just certain studio polish that has to go into these things where it's like you pretty much need a year at least, unless you put a rush job on it, and then it might suck, and then you don't want that, right? So I'll be okay. I'm okay with waiting. I'm okay if it comes out in middle of 2027 or something like that, and they film it in Q1, Q2 of next year. I'm here for it. Personally, I'm all about that. I'm willing to wait. That's 2 Scream movies in 2 years, baby. You know, I can't complain about that. That would be awesome. So I'm really hoping that we get a Scream 8 soon. I hope they don't shove that off. I hope Scream 7 does well, you know? But we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Blake's even saying it would be pretty risky quality-wise. I agree. I think it might be a little risky, man. We also got Jason saying, I'm fairly confident Weapons is my #1 favorite movie of 2025 and favorite movie of 2025. Just it's not only your favorite horror movie, just favorite of the year. I'm with you. I think that's my not to spoil my upcoming video, but I'm just like that was the best movie of the year, man. I loved Weapons. Scared the hell out of me. It was funny as hell. It was everything I wanted from a good horror movie, man. I don't know. I have no complaints about Weapons at all. I mean, I really don't have a single oh, this kind of sucked or something. This was, it worked for me. It's the 2020s horror movie, I feel like it's a very definitive film of not only this year, but this decade, man. Lots of little hidden details, lots of great scares. It's fun. It has a message. It hits all the boxes, man. It's got a lot to think about. It hits all the boxes. I can't stress that enough. Jason really wants to see Ruby Modine in Scream 8. I totally agree. If I could cast that next movie, I would love to see her in it. She was excellent. Erica's thrown another $2 out there. Thank you so much for the super chat, Erica. I really appreciate you supporting the page. We have only 2 out of 10 super chats for our goal guys, and we'll go for another hour. So if we get 8 of those in 10 minutes, we only have 10 minutes. Maybe we'll go for another hour. We'll see. We'll see what's up. But Erica's saying about 20 of you haven't hit the button. Guys, that's 20 fingers that Erica is going to have to bite off, and she will do it. That could be potentially 2 people without any hands. 2 people with no more of these, baby. So guys, if you want to keep your digits, make sure you hit the like button. We would greatly appreciate that. Helps the stream get out into the algorithm too, so that more friends can join us and talk horror. But Erica, I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you. Eric Ride Ox, I don't know. I'm terrible at reading things. Is saying, what's with horror fans in snow? It's hard to film in the snow, man. But when you do, it's kind of gorgeous. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Fargo, but whenever I think of talking about films shot in the snow, I just think that movie is gorgeous for what it is, and it's terrifying. There's a really famous wood chipper scene if you've never seen Fargo. There's a scene involving a wood chipper. That's all I'm going to say. And it's horrifying. And I feel like what adds to that is the fact that there's snow. You can also see blood better on white snow versus the ground. So I feel like there's just so much more opportunities with horror outside in the snow. So I that's why for me, it's you got to do a Scream film in the snow eventually. We have to have that. Snowy horror films like that. It's really difficult to film things in the snow, though. If you're wondering why haven't we done that for Scream, it's likely because of that. Really difficult to shoot in the snow. But when you do it, It's fucking awesome. It pays off, man. I have a horror film set in the snow that I really want to do at some point, but I want to be a little more experienced before I get to that, because there's a lot more things you got to think about, people getting cold and having to warm up, right? So you could really fuck up a shoot like that if you do it wrong. Paul from Mr. Mastermind Killer is saying, hello all, what did I miss? We're just talking Scream, baby. We're talking snow too. We're talking our love of snow, baby. So welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Davey Deathray is saying, Kevo, it looks like A24 and JT Molnar got it. Yeah, if you're talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is it bad that I know exactly what you're talking about? Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is coming to the small screen. We're doing a series out of it, which is interesting. I'm definitely excited for that, though. Definitely here for that. I think I want a movie more than anything, but considering how good horror TV has been lately, maybe this will rock. And it's in the hands of JT Molnar, and he's a mastermind. And Critical Overlord saying Gina Phillips in Scream 8. Yes, and yes to all of that 100%. Love Gina Phillips. Child's Play fan throwing $2 out there. Thank you for supporting the page. Saying, what's your favorite scary movie? Oh, dude, I have too many answers to this. There's too many good ones. Truthfully, the movie that I always pitch, and it really is because of the third act, if I'm being honest. This whole movie's great, but the third act is just, it's perfect. The Fly. I love The Fly so much, man. Listen, if you can make me feel multiple different emotions about a villain, that, you know, not just the fact like I'm like, oh man, this guy's evil. I'm scared of this guy. Can you also make me feel sympathetic for a villain? I'm a sucker for a good, tragic, sympathetic villain. You know, someone who has just gone down the wrong way because of their own actions, and maybe you kind of feel bad for him for that, you know. And The Fly is the best example of that off the top of my head, that I've seen at least. I just love that movie. The third act is literally perfect. I would not change a damn thing about it. I wouldn't change a hair on a person's head. Like, that's how much I love the third act of that one. I think it might be a little slow to get into, but I think once you've seen it a couple of times, like, you're like, oh, we know, you know the destination, and you're like, let's get into this. I love The Fly. I think it's a masterful use of romance and horror, of a tragic villain. Just, that's the big thing that impresses me about it, is it has a lot of things that I don't usually like about other stuff that it does so well. Yeah, I have to like it. I'm just like, this is so great. This is awesome. Really well done movie. 10 out of 10. My favorite from Cronenberg. One of my favorite 80s films ever. Man, I don't know. I have nothing but love for The Fly. I think it's a masterpiece. But Child's Play fan, thank you for the 2. Greatly appreciate that again. I imagine Child's Play is probably your favorite. I mean, just a wild guess. Just shot in the dark, right? I don't know. Maybe. Also a great movie, though. Jason Carpenter's throwing 2 out there saying, Laurie Strode is the best final girl. Sue me, Jake. Hey, listen, she started it all, man. Yeah, there would be no Sidney Prescott without Laurie Strode. There would be no, I mean, most of the final girls you can name outside of, like, you know, like Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jess from Black Christmas. You wouldn't have those characters without Laurie. Outside of those 2 characters, but outside, you know, you wouldn't have so many final girls without Laurie Strode. So, I mean, there's an argument for it, man. There's an argument for sure. Can't say no to that. I like Laurie Strode, but I just feel like they have never gotten her story right. That's my big thing. I feel like they've never gotten, they've never completed an arc with her that I felt like was worthwhile, which is probably sad to say. Even the original Halloween 2, I love Halloween 2, man. And there's even things about that where I'm just like, ugh, I'm bored watching Laurie just hang out in bed all day. Like, come on, do something. Make something happen, baby. Acres of Movies is saying great outdoors or summer rental. Great outdoors or summer rental. Oh, man. Okay, hang on. Marshmallow from this year. How about that? Have you seen that movie? Crazy underrated. It might pop up on a list that I'm making sometime soon. Marshmallow outdoor summer camp kind of slasher movie, or is it? It's a movie filled with twists and turns. Give it a watch. That's all I'll say. It might be a slasher, or is it something else? I don't know. Give it a watch, though. It's really good. Anyways, we have David Primero also with us saying, should they continue the Chucky TV series into movies or start a fresh new storyline? Seems like that series has unfinished business. Does it, though? Is it business that I need to see finished? I would rather just get a fresh start Chucky movie, if I'm being real. I I want to see. I just want them to go back to the good old days of Chucky. I feel like they've gotten just too far off of course. It's turned into something that I don't know. It's just turned into something that I don't even recognize. I love the original Child's Play trilogy. That's my favorite from this whole franchise. It's like, I feel like they didn't realize it was funny yet. You know what I mean? When they recognize, they're like, oh, people are making fun of these movies, and they lean too far into it, then it was too campy. There was the right balance in that original trilogy for me personally. I do love Bride, but beyond that, it gets a little wacky. Critical Overlord is saying the Fly remake, classic. Love the remake for sure. The original's okay. I like the original too. I respect it, but the remake's way better. Jason Carpenter's throwing 2 out there saying Ben Richards lives. I love that. I love that, man. I do love, I love The Running Man. I did enjoy it quite a bit, but again, I wish that ending was different. I'm glad that you loved it so much though, Jason. I know you've been going on and on about it, which makes me very happy. I love when people love movies, man. So I'm glad that one really worked for you, my friend. Thank you for the 2. I'm glad you loved that movie. And thank you for supporting the page. Davey saying avoided those like the plague. Oh, you're talking about the Strangers movies? Yeah, you can avoid those like the plague. Those are not very good. Denisha, I haven't said hi to Denisha. What's up, Denisha? How we doing? Thanks for being a channel member. There's 67 people in the chat and there's 45 likes. Come on, y'all, hit that like button. Listen to Denisha, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button or else someone's gonna bite off your fingers. I'm not sure who. Maybe Erica though. That's what we've been saying this whole time. Talia's with us as well. Thank you for being a channel member. It's crazy in Utah. It's been 55 degrees and only snowed up at the peak of the mountain, barely. I hope I get a white Christmas at least. Do you guys get like a ton of snow? I didn't think you guys got a ton of snow in Utah. Does that has that happened before? Like, am I just dumb for for not knowing that? I feel like it doesn't usually snow in Utah. I don't know. I've only been to Utah one time, so I do not know. I did find out that I was driving through Post Malone's neighborhood though. However, when I was there, which I still think is really cool. I don't know if I ever drove past his house or not, but I learned that I was in the neighborhood of where he lived when I was there, which I think is very cool. From some folks that I met up with there. But anyways, Child's Play is saying my favorite is Child's Play 2. Respect the first, but the second is where Chucky shined. I can't argue with that. That's my favorite too, dude. That's my absolute. That's my number one in the whole franchise. Child's Play 2 is why. You know what makes it better than the original? Honestly, it's 2 very small details. The third act setting is way better than the original, and I feel like it's an even better balance of humor and horror. Like it's a little more like it's cranked up a little more than the original film, and it's perfect. Beyond that, the knob just keeps going up and up and up, and it's too much moving on into the franchise. But in Child's Play 2, it was the perfect balance of humor and horror, and I love that film. It's probably my favorite killer doll film of all time is Child's Play 2, but after that, I feel like the series starts to go a little downhill, but I love that second one. I love that second one quite a bit. It's a lot of fun, man. Blake9455 throwing $2 out there too, saying Matt Lillard, that is all. That's the chat. Love and respect, baby. I worship at the altar of Matt Lillard. So I can't disagree with that. That's a great chat right there. I love Matthew. I think he's great. It bums me out that he's been kind of raked through the mud by certain Hollywood directors lately, and that bums me out because I think he's just amazing in everything he's ever done. I really, even Five Nights at Freddy's, man, I do not really like those movies, but I'll tell you what, Matthew Lillard just kills it in both of those with what he's able to do. He's doing the best he can to make these interesting, and I'll be like, fuck yeah, man, fuck yeah, Matthew, rock and roll, baby, So I really can't shit on him at all. I think that he's just a wonderful performer, brings so much light and power to everything he's ever been in. And I want to see him in more stuff moving forward. Let's keep the Matthew Lillard renaissance alive and hopefully beyond Five Nights at Freddy's. I want to see him in more stuff outside of that. That would be great. That would make me really happy. But Blake, thank you so much for the 2. I appreciate the support. Paul is saying, sort of happy we didn't get the original Scream 7. I would have not liked to see Sam turned into Ghostface. I could see Sam being a Dexter like Ghostface, though. There's no way, I'm telling you right now, Paul, there is no way they would have made a movie where Sam's just, I'm the killer now, and I'm evil, and I'm killing all my friends. They wouldn't have done that. It would have been the Dexter kind of killer where she's going after other ghost faces with good intention, right? You're doing something evil, but with a good reason to do it. There's no other way. There's no way that it would have been Billy turns her into Ghostface. And I would have loved that movie, personally. I would have been over the moon about something like that. That would have been like that weird final movie in a franchise that's like just gonna, be controversial and polarizing, right? It's gonna turn some people away, but also capture the interest of some, like a Halloween Ends. I'm trying to think of some other examples, just some movies that have taken some big swings. I feel like it definitely would have been that, for sure. I really don't think it would have been Sam's just randomly evil now. That wasn't being set up across movies. What was is her being a killer of maybe ghost faces who are coming after her, with her whole personality being destroyed online. I feel like that's got to be what it was. Eric Ride is saying Chucky TV series just got silly. Yeah, it was just, I feel like it was mashing action figures. Like, it was just like, Chucky's gonna blow up this now. What? Huh? Chucky's in the White House now. What? I don't know, man. It was so random, so inconsequential. Just we're gonna do the most random thing ever. Chucky's going to fucking space is what they were pitching for season 4, and I'm just like, dude, lay off the coke. My God. I'm just kidding. But it was just a little too much. It was a little too goofy. I couldn't even watch too much. I could watch like 20 minutes of it, and it was like blasting sugar into my mouth, At a certain point, candy doesn't taste sweet anymore, Acres of Movies is saying villains, they take off the mask and then it's Tarantino. Then they take off the mask again and it's still Tarantino. That's really funny. But yeah, I don't know. Tarantino's crazy, man. I love his movies, but I hate his personality. I really just wish he would shut his big mouth. Gemstone Ghoul, Talia saying, same Chucky, but just a new kid in story. Child's Play 2019 was mid, but was mostly funny. It had its ups and downs, I'll give it that, but I really wasn't super over the moon about it. It had some moments, I think it had some decent kills, some bloody kills at that. But I hated Buddy, but the Buddy design is awful. I can't believe I'm saying this, and this actually bums me out to say, but I did not like Mark Hamill as Buddy. He's a great voice actor, but I don't know. I just, it's a spiral situation for me. It's like, I feel like some people really did not like that there was a different guy running jigsaw traps in that movie. And some people are like, Tobin Bell's the only person that can be doing that in these movies. And I respect that. But man, I think with Chucky, you seriously cannot have anybody voicing that character. Like, I can't see it, it's got to be Brad Dourif. I feel like I just can't get into Chucky movies unless I'm hearing that cackle, and you know what I'm talking about. I can't do it, but Brad Dourif can, and that's the point. So we need him in Chucky, man. He's got to be Chucky. Gemstone Ghoul is saying up north we would always get lots of snow from the end of October till February. Down south is more desert and no mountains. Okay, that's kind of where I was in Utah. So I guess I don't live there. so what do I know? That's cool though. That's cool. You wish that they would make a good Scarecrow movie, like a slasher and not supernatural. Isn't like I think it's Supernatural, but there's a Scarecrow slasher movie called Diced. That's what it is. It's kind of a Terrifier ripoff, but give it a try. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I kind of felt like it was just Terrifier with the Scarecrow, but I don't know. Some people really vibed with it, so give it a watch. Danny Huckins is saying, what are your plans for Christmas? I'm just going to be going to family's houses, not too much. I'm probably not going to be doing anything on the page for Christmas Day. I will probably have a video out Christmas Eve morning, is my guess. I'll probably have one of my lists out for horror stuff. But I don't think I'm going to be going live either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, just because we got a lot of running around to do. So won't be doing much there. What are you doing for Christmas? Let us know. Are you guys eating some good food? Seeing some family? I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Hope y'all have a good holiday, whatever y'all celebrate. If it's Christmas, rock on. Anything else too, rock on. Jason Carpenter is saying, throwing $2 out there, saying, fuck Macaulay Culkin, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And I agree, Jason, but he did make a good point. And it actually kind of hurts that he made such a good point about it. Because some people will just say, Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. You're wrong. And I'm like, but it is a Christmas movie. It takes place on Christmas. His point was, and this hurts me because I read this and I'm like, he's kind of right. Fuck. He's like, Die Hard doesn't have to be on Christmas to work, but Home Alone does. He's kind of right. He's kind of right. Like, it actually kind of hurts because he's like, fuck, man. You couldn't do Home Alone on a different holiday. You could do Die Hard on a different holiday, and it would still be it would kind of be the same movie. And I'm like, that sucks balls, bro. But you know what? Even with him saying that, though, it still does take place on Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Just like how Jaws 4: The Revenge takes place on Christmas. Therefore, it is a Christmas movie. So put on Die Hard and follow it up with the worst Jaws film. That's what I'll say. So that's my comeback, Macaulay. Your move, checkmate. He did make a good point, though. I have to admit, it's a debate that will never die. It's just going to go on forever and ever, and that's a really good point in the people who say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie category. So I will give him that. I will give him that. Have to point that out. Blake has thrown 2 out there too, saying, I want a new poster on Christmas Day at least. We need something, man. We definitely need something. With I talk about it on the page all the time, but Screams 5 and 6, I mean, it was non-stop. Sorry, I'm dying here. I have crazy hiccups. But it was non-stop for like 3 months before those movies came out. It was great. I mean, it was just so much. So many posters, new pieces of, trailers, teasers, TV spots. There's TikToks that were promoting these 2 movies too. It was crazy. I mean, there's just so much marketing for these 2 films. And I don't know. I just, they haven't really done a whole lot. They put out a single trailer and that's it. So I'm really hoping they put out some more. They got to market these movies. There's waning interest in Scream. That's just how it's going to go when you put out 2 movies in the same decade very recently. Screams 5 and 6 are still very recent movies. So I just really think that they have to go nuts with the marketing if they want people to show up, man, or it's going to start going downhill. And then I don't know if they'll keep making these movies. So I'm really hoping people show up. I really do. We're really hoping people show up to Scream 7. Kevo is saying, Jake, if you were tasked with writing a Final Destination, what kind of opening disaster would you want to see? They haven't topped The Wreck in Final Destination 2 for me. I can't argue with that, man. I mean, I think that might still be the very best. I did a ranking video, like ranking everything in Final Destination, like all the big stuff, And when I ranked the opening scenes, 2 was like easily, like that was the one thing I was for sure about, is like the opening for Final Destination 2 is at the top. There's no doubt about that in my mind. What would I want to see for a wreck in in a new Final Destination film? Well, here's the thing. Let's analyze that scene versus the others. Why does that one work the best out of all of them? And I think truly it's because, almost everyone ever has been on the highway at some point. We can all relate to the horror of driving a vehicle, and if someone in front of you decides to turn the wrong way and not pay attention and crash into somebody, you could get into an accident by no fault of your own. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the horror of Final Destination 2's opening. I feel like it's the most relatable out of everything. And you see it all the time. There's no way anyone here, you guys have seen a log truck before. And when you see a log truck, you think about that scene in Final Destination. It's a little more situational when you get into some of the other films. Let's take the Final Destination, for example. I bet way less of you have been to a NASCAR or racing event with cars. I have never been to one, for instance. I've never been to a NASCAR stadium and was terrified that the cars were going to explode and tires were going to fly into the stands. It's less relatable. So truthfully, the whatever the wreck is, the danger, it's got to be something that's relatable. It's got to be something that people have done before, or experience in their everyday life. So what would be a really good setting for that? I almost think like, I know we kind of did a lot of stuff in a hospital in the last movie, but like hospital is really coming to mind. Like I feel like a good hospital opening scene would be great. It wouldn't be as fun though. Like I feel like they're kind of inherently fun too. So I don't know. I'm really trying to think what that would be. But it would have to be whatever it would be. It would have to be something relatable, something that people have experienced or done before. And have felt terror while doing so. Maybe it is something fun, something you want to do, but there's a scariness to it as well. That's why an amusement park worked so well. That's why I pitched cruises so much as well too, because that's a terrifying situation, man. Going on a cruise, but it is fun at the same time. You want to do it, but if the boat goes down, you're in the middle of the ocean with a lot of different animals and just the area around you that could kill you very easily, just outside of if you survive the ship going down. So it's a very good question. And that to me is why I think the opening of Final Destination 2 is still the very best. Even though some sequels have come close, Final Destination 3 and Bloodlines especially, I feel have done a really good job. Rob Ellis is saying Scream needs a new take to make it interesting, like being on a cruise liner. I think this maybe has been mentioned before, but needs to happen. We're on cruises now. I love that. I wouldn't mind a switch up of the setting. I really feel like that was a big draw to Scream 6 for me, is the idea that we're going into like a different kind of setting. So I agree. I think we need to switch it up a little bit or have something thrown in there that is different. I brought this up the other day about Cotton Weary in Screams 2 and Screams 3. He's such a different flavor of character to throw into the mix. And I think that's what makes those movies so interesting, is because you kind of have this other antagonist outside of Ghostface. You also have Cotton Weary breathing down Sydney's neck, and that's interesting, right? That's the interesting that, I want you to do this interview, but she doesn't really want to do that. It's kind of like, well, you're kind of being a dick, dude. Don't really appreciate that. Why are you harassing me like this? So I really think we got to introduce more characters than just the friends of the characters. We need more interesting folks than that. We need people with a little more, with some more stakes. I also feel like we're introducing a lot of characters who might not really have a big reason to do it. Like, was there any way that Annika would have been the killer in Scream 6? Like, did that ever cross your head at one point watching that movie? Not really. Let's take Wes in Scream 5. Not really, I feel like the best murder mysteries give you a reason for every single character to have done it. There are red herrings. There are also, characters that fulfill different kinds of purposes, like Wes and Annika. But I feel like at the root of the best murder mysteries, there's a will and a way that every single character involved could have done it. I think that's something that Agatha Christie really understood. I think that's something that if you go back to even the original Scream, there's a little air of that. I don't know. I feel like we need smaller casts and a reason why every character involved could have been the one behind the mask. Big Brisk Yo is saying, Jake, have you seen Dark Harvest? Yes, I love it. Criminally underrated. More people should watch it. My God. I don't even want to say anything about it because it is such a unique concept. Directed by David Slade, very underrated director. I love Dark Harvest. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. I watch it every Halloween season. I think it's great. I think it's an excellent movie. It's a movie I put on all the time during this time of year too. So great, absolutely great film. Batman Returns and Lethal Weapon are also Christmas. Okay, I can get into that. You know what? Yeah, I can get into that. It's not like, right? They're not like Christmas movies that you immediately think of, but it's like, but they're kind of Christmas movies. So I hear you on that, Jason. I feel that. Batman Returns is kind of a horror movie, man. Doesn't the penguin bite off somebody's nose or some crazy shit in that movie? I mean, come on, that's crazy. I love Batman Returns. That movie got a lot of shit, a lot of flack when it came out, but I've always really enjoyed that one. The Keaton movies are so much fun. But Jason, thank you so much again for the 2. Really does mean a lot. Samantha wants to do a water park stream. Yelling butt nuts. That's too funny. If you guys don't know, we have a water park over on the gaming channel in Water Park Simulator, and I called it Butt Nuts Water Park, which I feel like you guys, who wouldn't go to a water park called Butt Nuts? I mean, come on now. So we're definitely going to do that stream soon. I wanted to do a gaming channel stream this weekend at some point. Maybe we'll make it that. Maybe I'll do that. I want to. There's a video I want to get out for tomorrow, recapping some updates. But after that, I'm doing some sort of stream. So we'll see. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. We'll get around to it though, for sure. It's coming up. Film Gamer X is saying, I'm happy we're getting Scream 7 and Resident Evil 9 in the same month and on the same day. Hilariously enough. Horror fans are eating good. Cue John Hamm club meme. I said, ooh, 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 come on, baby, turn the lights out. My fiance just got really happy. She has shown me about 100 of those memes. I love that though. Acres of Movies is saying amusement park. Yes, 100%. We were just talking about the John Hamm meme. You know what's funny? We made a meme in Repo regarding that. I never got around to editing that. I completely forgot. But that probably would have done numbers on TikTok, right? That probably would have shot out there.
Still do numbers. It's still going.
I'm gonna make that tonight at some point. I'm gonna put that up over on the TikTok.
You should have it be like when you cough and the gunman does it.
When you cough and the gun. I like that. Oh man. Yeah, we a lot of fun over on the gaming channel. Can't stress it enough. Anyways, okay, let's keep going here. We got Clark Kent. Thank you for being a channel member, my friend. What's up, Clark? How we doing? Not Superman. I don't know shit. Saying hello, 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 hello. Not busy fighting crime in the city anymore, I see. Welcome in, my friend. Mr. Mastermind Killer is saying Final Destination, maybe a strip mall where a natural disaster. I have pitched that idea quite a few times. You know what, Paul? You just reminded me of that. The idea of a natural disaster is something that I feel like a lot of people at least know about or are scared of. A tornado is something I think would be excellent. I think that would be a really good one. And we never done that. It's always a man-made disaster, but a natural disaster is something that people are scared of. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like that would totally work. I feel like that's relatable enough to get into it and make you be like, oh shit. And anytime you see a tornado now, you'll think about that scene, right? Just like how if you see a tornado, you think about Twister. You know, it's the same vibe. So horror fans will point to Final Destination. A tornado opening sequence, 100%. I made a whole video about that a while ago when we were talking about Final Destination 7 theories. That was a good video. I really enjoyed that one. But yes, I couldn't agree more. I think that's a great idea. David Primero is saying, have you heard of the Insidious spinoff Thread and what's it all about? So David, this is going to be a spinoff in the same universe, and we're kind of using the same elements and tools from the Insidious franchise in a different way. It's a really cool idea, and I really hope it gets made. To my knowledge, I don't know what's going on with it, because we have Insidious 6, which is a different movie coming out next year, next August. But this, I don't know if any movement has happened with it. It has a cast, but again, I don't know if it's been shot. I have no idea of what's going on with Threads. But basically, the idea of it is that it follows a couple played by some very big actors, Kumail Nanjiani and somebody else. I can't remember who the wife was, but it's a couple who lose their daughter, and they hear about the Further and some of the things that have happened in there. And if you haven't seen the Insidious movies, in the Further you can kind of travel through time. So their goal is they want to get like a medium to get into the Further and prevent their daughter's car accident that killed her, so that they can bring her back to life. It is a really interesting idea for an Insidious spinoff. I'm totally down for it with that concept. I think it's a little bit of a swing, to do something different in that franchise. And I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea. So I want to see what happens. I want to see what that one's all about. And I'm honestly, I am excited for Insidious 6. Like, dude, they're bringing back Lin Shaye. I will take more Lin Shaye in my Insidious movies. Rock on. But I might be even more excited for that one. That sounds like a very different idea, something this franchise has never really explored before. So bring that one on. Let's see what it's all about. Rock and roll, baby. Brian Henley is saying, I feel the only reason to bring back Chad and Mindy is they will need a pincushion for Ghostface. Hopefully Mindy will be the one taken out this time, as I think Chad is the more valuable of the two. See, that's why I feel the exact opposite. No one is going to care if Mindy dies. Like, Mindy, I just feel like no one's, like, if you're going to kill a legacy character, I feel like it should be someone with weight, Like, I remember when Dewey died in Scream 5, I was just like, no way they fucking killed Dewey. Like, that hurt, man. Oh, broke my heart. no one's gonna care if Mindy dies. You know, you're just not gonna have that same effect, I feel. I kind of like if Chad dies though, you know, like I feel like I'd be pretty heartbroken if he went out. So Mindy, I think like for me, I'd rather them reinvent this character into something that works a little better. I just do not like what they're doing with Mindy in these two movies, man. She's so not an effective Randy character, and that's my big problem with her. I'll be honest, I even did a whole video on this at one point. I talked a lot about Mindy, like and why she doesn't work like the other two Randy characters, and it's the fact that they're making her a character that is constantly wrong, but then also like I don't know, just always fucks up in the end. It's like Randy is. She's super confident, you know. Mindy is someone who's super confident, and she's just barking orders at everybody about what's going on. But the thing about Randy is he doesn't do that. You know, Randy gets drunk and decides to just spell all the rules out to everybody when everyone else is drunk. It's not like a sequence like in, you know, in Scream 6, for instance, the park bench scene where, you know, it's everyone sit down and listen. Like, no, Randy did all that because he was trashed. And that's why we got that iconic scene in the original Scream. And also, he wasn't talking to anybody important in that scene. That's kind of like the point. You know, had some of the characters who had already died listened to that, maybe they would have approached things differently. But I feel like just the way they've handled Mindy, the situations they put her in, it's scenes that don't work. It's scenes that like completely fall flat, in my opinion. Mindy should be someone who's a little more shy and dealing with trying to come out of her shell more. And then, you know, maybe spelling these things out about what's going to happen. And she's totally right. And telling some patron at a bar, let's say, like maybe she's getting drunk because maybe her brother died, for instance. And then she's saying something along the lines of, well, you know, it's clearly so-and-so, but no one will listen to me, you know, like, because I've been wrong in the last two movies. That's your way of reinventing the character. That's what I would rather see with Mindy personally. That could be interesting. I want to, maybe now after being so confidently wrong in the last two flicks, maybe now she's in her shell and she's dealing with that. You know, she's depressed because she was so wrong and like led to people's deaths in the previous two movies. She's closed off now and she's not talking to anybody. She's not getting up in front of people and saying things like, oh, it's this person and these are the rules, the yada, yada, yada. And it doesn't end up going anywhere. Instead, she is right this time, but she's closed off. And that's the joke, right? It's because you were so confident in the last two flicks, but you didn't do anything to actually better the plot that she's depressed now and does have it all figured out. And that'll be the joke by the time we get to the end. Is it's like, fuck, I had it figured out the whole time and I didn't speak up. That would be really funny. That could be an interesting thing to do with Mindy personally. The Flet from Another World is saying, hey, Jake and everyone, ayo. Thank you for being a channel member. What's up? Welcome in. Acres of Movies is saying, have it all in a bunker. Sydney doing time upstate. Sydney's going to prison. Oh God, what? Oh man, is she the killer now? That's brutal. Jake, show the Silent Night, Deadly Night artwork for the Steelbook in February. Here, let's look it up. $2025 4K. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's I don't know if I can. How can I make this big? I don't know if I can make this big or not, but it is very cool. If you haven't seen it, it's I don't even think I can put it on the screen with OBS. I'm gonna be honest. What I will say about it is it's the Axe poster that you've probably seen with all the lights on it. And then the back is Rowan Campbell holding the axe, which is pretty damn cool. So I'm really excited for this one. I might pick it up, honestly. I think they're gonna probably do like a Silent Night, Deadly Night box set with all these movies, and I might pick them all up because I'm crazy, and I kind of want to own all these dumb movies. Might be kind of fun. So really cool stuff. Really excited to pick that one up. Big Brisk Yo is saying she technically was right though. Was she though? did she do anything in the third act to help out our characters? That's my problem, is she's not doing anything to help out. Like, I just feel like she's just yelling at everybody and no one's listening to her. She was suspicious of Ethan, but where did that go? You know what I mean? That was a whole plot point that went absolutely nowhere, I feel. What was cool about Randy is that the killers bullied him and told him to stay out of their business. Like, that worked for me. You know what I mean? Like, we literally have the scene where Randy's like, well, I think it's Billy because of so-and-so. And then Billy comes over and says, like, shut the fuck up. Shh, stop it. Like, that's purposeful, man. That's funny. That's meta the way they handled it. The way they're handling it in Scream 6 is, it's you, stop it, get out of my face. Okay, if it's him, call the police. Why are you just sitting in the ambulance right now? You know what I mean? You have good enough reason to call the police and say it's him, but I don't know. That's what bugs me about those movies. And then Mindy just always gets stabbed and then she's not there. I don't know. It's just, come on, dude, do something. Do something that affects the movie. Dive into the meta a little more. We're not doing that. We're avoiding that with this character whose whole purpose is to do that. I don't know. Jason Carpenter, thank you for the 2, saying, Jake, what would you tell Rowan after a few beers? Rowan Campbell? I would say, dude, I would just praise him in Silent Night, Deadly Night. I would be like, you're the best Billy Chapman, bro. I would be so boring if I got trashed with horror people. I would just be like, dude, you're so good in this movie. And he's like, okay, thanks. Cool. Let's talk about anything else instead of work. That's all I would do if I was drunk with people I liked in the industry. I'd just be like, dude, you're so good in this movie. I love this movie, man. That's all I would be doing, pretty much. But Jason, thank you for the 2. I really appreciate that. Guys, Erica is throwing out the link to our Human Egg Productions page. That's where a lot of my short films live, if you guys haven't seen them. What's really interesting is that our 48-hour film project from just this past October, actually won the film festival. We won for best film, which is still crazy to me. Did not think we would get that. And we're very honored. And it's actually going off to a film festival over in Portugal called Filmapalooza. And right now we're getting a lot of stuff ready for it, ready for the next festival that it's going off to. And we're gonna have some like new marketing for it, like a poster and all this crazy shit. We're polishing it up a little bit so that it looks a little better. I'm so excited. I'm literally just over the moon excited about the fact that it's going to another festival this upcoming March. And I hope people dig it. I hope people enjoy it. But if you haven't seen it yet, it's over on that page called Brahmin Synthetic. It's our 48-hour film project submission. We did it in 48 hours. We wrote, shot, and edited the whole thing in 48 hours. So, it's not perfect, but give it a watch and let us know what you think. We're thinking about doing more with it at some point in the future. So give it a watch and let me know. Let me know your thoughts, concerns, feelings, whatever might happen there. Blake is saying, I think Knives Out is a really good example of everyone having a motive. Oh, 100% agreed. I feel like a Ghostface in that scenario would be cool. I'm so with you. I have not seen the new one yet. Is it like Wake Up Dead Man or something like that? I have not seen that one yet, but I loved Knives Out. I think the first one was great. I did not like Glass Onion at all, though. Can I be so real? I hate to be that guy. I loved the first one. I was like, this is great. I saw the sequel and I'm just like, very obvious. The first one was like a little more like, okay, that was a cool mystery. I enjoyed that, but I feel like I had the first one figured out from the moment they listed out all the characters. I'm like, okay, it's that guy, and they never tried to make me think it was anybody else. And it was obviously that guy. That's all I'm gonna say. But wow, Glass Onion, major disappointment. But the first one was awesome. I'm excited to see what this new one's all about. Cannot wait for it. Very, very excited. Matt is still in Scooby, but if they all came back, I would love it more than anything. I would prefer that over him being alive in Scream, not gonna lie. I would 100% rather see Matthew Lillard as Shaggy again. 100%. That's the role I want him to come back to more than anything. Those movies are so great. Those movies are phenomenal. Love those to death. What else is going on? Erica, I appreciate you throwing out Brahmin Synthetic. Thank you so much. Blake is saying you should figure out how to have all your channels linked in your bio so we can see them all there. Are they not? They're in the description of this video, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so in the description of this video, there's the GullGotha link, which is the link to the gaming channel. The Chicken Man short film is linked there, which will take you to Human Egg Productions. I don't have the link for Killjoy Jake Retro, but we are still doing videos on that page. I'm so sorry I haven't had a video up there in a while. Been working on this Talk to Me video for quite some time. But I mean, almost everything's on here. My Instagram, my Twitter is on there as well. The Patreon, the merch store, all good stuff. Click on all those things. That'd be pretty cool. All in the description, and also Erica is throwing them out into the chat every couple of minutes. So look out for those links. Check them out, and please support the other pages as well. It would mean quite a bit. Sadly, you just can't support yourself with one small horror channel, so we got to do all these other things to pay the bills, guys. So I'm just gonna be transparent there. I really do appreciate you guys for anyone who supports the page in any sort of way. Really does mean a lot. But if you want to do that without spending a dime, just subscribe to all the pages and check out the videos. That would mean quite a bit as well. So, but thank you to everybody who supports the page. Really does mean a lot. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for keeping me in business. Jason's got to go, and you know what? I got to go too. Old Jake's getting tired. It's been this was the last day of Christmas stuff for me, and I'm ready to wind down a little bit. But guys, we'll be doing some more stuff tomorrow. I'll have a big update video tomorrow. I will also be streaming. I'm gonna be maybe doing a game stream tomorrow, I think. But I will be streaming with the Splattercast guys at 9 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We're going to be watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Best One. Really excited for that. So stop on by Splattercast late tomorrow night for that as well. Guys, thank you again so much for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you all. Thanks for supporting the page tonight. Check out a new update video tomorrow. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye.